Think Different TV, live every Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hosted by me, your girl LaShia. Join me as I discuss social topics, spotlight independent artists, and share financial tips. Join the conversation. I want to hear what you have to say. Think Different TV, where minds meet. You're the reason I wake up, the reason I smile. Hello everyone. Come on in, my friends. This is going to be a really crazy episode of Think Different TV. It is the first installment of my new March Madness series for this month, and I got a lot to touch on tonight. So come on in, filter on in. Hey everyone. I see that Tone the Artist has joined. I see that Beloved Monet has joined. Hi guys, thank you for tuning in. Before I even start this show, I just want to say that a lot of the topics discussed on this episode is very, very explicit content. So please, viewer discretion is advised. Hey, Primetime has joined. How are you? Haven't spoken to you in a while. We're going to touch base very soon. Prime Nostalgia Podcast is one of my things that I subscribe to on YouTube. Check them out. They talk about a lot of the old school, the nostalgic stuff that, came out when we were younger, and, Nickelodeon, Disney, like all that great stuff, movies, pop culture. And he co-hosts with Lee Boy TV, who is Leon, who was actually on all that. I believe, I forget what season, but I remember him being the cute little kid on all that. And I was like, who was this cute little kid that just joined? Because I was so used to Keenan and Kel being on there. And then I'm like, who's this little boy? So yeah. Thank you so much. I'm trying, I'm getting there. So come on in, filter on in. I really want to thank all of you for coming on and joining this special episode of Think Different TV. I got a lot that I want to discuss and touch on tonight, and the topic is very touchy, so I'm telling you right now, viewer discretion is advised. We also have a great independent artist spotlight tonight, which is Tone the Artist at This Is Art LLC right here on IG. And our financial tip is about credit repair. And if you're looking for professionals, I have the hookup. So I want to first pour me some Euphoria water, which is one of my sponsors. Because without my sponsors, I could not do this show. Okay, guys? They have been rocking out with me from the very beginning. And I want to say welcome to all of those viewers who have been rocking out with me since the beginning, and those who are just coming in. Superfly Noise, how are you tonight? So one of the sponsors is Euphoria Water, the cleanest, healthiest water in Philly. Alkaline water with minerals, no additive, no chemicals. If you're going to hydrate the right way. Grab yourself some Euphoria water, and I have my wine glass today. I'm gonna mess up my lipstick a little bit, but yeah. And I just realized I didn't even put any mascara on. Oh my gosh, crazy me. I did all this and I didn't put any mascara on. But you know what? I might take a break and bring it out so that I can show you what kind of mascara I use. So Euphoria Water is one of the sponsors, a great guy named Mike. When you're ready to put in your order, make sure you go to Euphoria Water on IG, or you can call 267-707-8279 to place that order today. Awesome sponsor. Thank you so much. And then I also have another sponsor, Anointed Ads, award-winning graphic design and website company. He's been rocking out for over 14 years experience, over 100 websites created. And when I say award-winning, this guy is an award-winning graphic design. I mean, he has eye-catching designs that you know that is anointed ads when you see it. And he also created the flyer for Think Different TV. Hey, Young and Gifted 24, thank you for joining in. That's Marlo. He also has a show here on IG that he is hosting. So proud of you. Keep it up. And Anointed Ads is one of those businesses that is a Black-owned business. He is really good at what he does. And when you're ready to get your project started, all you have to do is give him a call at 609-534-0237. And when you mention Think Different TV, you get 15% off of your project. So whether it be your website or your flyer, he's going to take care of it for you and take 15% off when you mention Think Different TV. Hey, Philly Fresh, what's up? What's up? I also have Only by LLC. Thank you for joining in. So that is our sponsors. Thank you so much for being sponsors and rocking out with me since the beginning. Tonight, my topic is sexual assault on males and female predators. Now, a lot of the times when we think of sexual assault or the predators, it's always gender specific. Don't y'all hold that against me. I'm just like really wound up right now. So don't hold that against me. Specific, gender specific. A lot of people believe that the sexual assault can be done on females, only by males. Some people believe that sexual assault on males can only be done to the males by males. But there is this topic where there are women predators. There are female predators, guys. It is very real. It is very serious. As a boy mom myself, I want to make sure that my son is protected at all times. Already have to deal with the dangers of him growing up as a Black man in this country. And we already know how Black men are treated in this country. But then also to know that there's also this hidden danger that is not addressed a lot of the times. And it's very heartbreaking because a lot of men, and excuse me for a moment because my camera is a little foggy, so I'm going to clean that off. A lot of men do not report sexual assault and rape because they are not taken seriously. It's not an issue that society feels is necessary to discuss. And this is the problem. So, I have my handy dandy book. So I will refer to it often because I took a lot of notes on this topic. I did a lot of research. It emotionally broke me a few times because just reading the stories, hearing the stories on YouTube via Reddit. They have a channel where you go watch Reddit questions being asked and the responses. And one of the questions asked was, sexual assault, as far as sexual assault on men. And if there was a female that did it, who was it? Can you talk about it? Stuff like that. And it got me a little emotional. I'm not going to lie. Because some of the stories that were revealed were very, very overwhelming. So, first off, before I even start, once again, the content discussed in this live, viewer discretion is advised. Use your discretion, whether you want to watch or not. I feel that I'm using my platform to educate. That's what I want to do. And I want you to feel like you want to be educated, and if you don't want to hear about this topic, I Do not blame me. Sometimes it's very, very sore topic to discuss, but it has to be discussed. So first I'm going to start with the definition of sexual assault and rape, okay? Because I want y'all to hear it broken down. So sexual assault is any sexual violence against the wishes and without the consent of the violated person, and I like that instead of saying victim. Violated person, whether by a stranger or by an acquaintance, whether against a woman or a man, okay? A woman or a man, is a violation of the law. And consent cannot be given if the person is, 1, asleep, 2, intoxicated, unconscious, mentally challenged, or under the threat of force, or for any other reason unable to communicate willingness to participate in sexual activity. And intercourse under any of these circumstances is rape. All right? So it did not say just against women, y'all. It said against men as well. So we want to take that into account. You know, there are men out here being sexually assaulted. Now, rape, unwanted, coerced, and or forced sexual penetration. The perp may penetrate the victim's vagina, mouth, or anus, either with a body part or another object. The victim, listen, the victim may also be forced to penetrate the perp's vagina, mouth, or anus. So that second part, that sentence that I just said is referring to female perps and male violated persons. Okay? So this can happen. This is not uncommon. It happens more than we want to acknowledge. Okay? The statistic of sexual assault and rape of males is 1 in 6. They believe that the number may be higher, but because of the stigma and the unwillingness of the violated person to come forward, is skewing the numbers. So it says 1 in 6 males will experience sexual assault in their lifetime. Okay? Now, as far as perpetrators are concerned, who can be the perpetrators? Mothers. I know. Mothers are usually supposed to be the nurturers, the ones that take care of the child, the one that makes sure the child gets what they need and, you know, doesn't do damage emotionally or physically to their children or sexually. But there are mothers out there who are messed up in the head that do this to their children, whether the male be their bio son, their adopted son, or their stepson. Any older woman 18 and up, i.e. a babysitter, a relative, aunt, older cousin, a teacher, or close family friend of the family. All right? There's also date rape that happens to men by women. Okay? We already know that there are women that get roofied and men take advantage of them. It happens to men as well. Now, in a lot of the cases, men might say, oh, I was drugged, but all they did was rob me. In some cases, that may not be the case. Sometimes it may be that not only were they robbed, but they also were sexually assaulted in a way. But they may hold that piece of information back because of the stigma placed on it. Listen to me when I say this. I was watching a video on YouTube. I told you the Reddit video. And one man said a female friend that he knew put something in his drink. And then she offered to take him home because he said he wasn't feeling well. He was feeling dizzy, not himself. She offered to take him home. And he said in the midst of her being on top of him and everything like that, he woke up and he pushed her off. And then he was like, what are you doing? I don't want this. I did not consent to you having sex with me, so you're raping me. And then she left or whatever. He went to the doctor. He didn't report it to the police officers because of a fear of how he might be looked at, because everyone oh, why wouldn't you want to be raped by a woman? That's not something cool to say, oh, I want, it doesn't make any sense. No one wants to be raped, whether it be by a male or a female. No one wants to be raped. So I want everybody to get this out of their heads. He must have wanted it because he got hard, or he had a physiological reaction to her stimulating him. Get this. It's going to happen because that's a physical thing. But mentally, they know that this is not right. They're being mentally traumatized, but their body is not agreeing with their mind. Saying that a man wanted it because they achieved an erection during this sexual assault, this rape, is the same as saying a woman wanted it because she became wet and her body allowed for the penetration. Anytime you are stimulated in a sexual way, it's going to trigger a physiological reaction. And that's what makes me so upset, because if it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander. You can't say that about a woman, that, oh no, just because she was wet doesn't mean she wanted it, but then say that a man, because he achieved erection, he wanted it. That it doesn't fly. It doesn't fly. So it's very real. It can happen. And when he went to, and going back to the Reddit person who was talking about how he got sexually assaulted, raped by this woman, he went to the doctor to get a rape kit done, to get tested for STDs and all of these things. And usually when you come in, a doctor would ask, well, why are you in today? And he was like, because I was raped by a woman and I want to get tested for STDs. And they laughed at him. They laughed at him. What? So upsetting. Okay. So there are power differentials. And power differentials is, teacher student, officer inmate, any type of power dynamic. Okay. So I'm going to touch on the different power differentials and talk about an example of each one. So one is teacher student. I don't know if y'all remember, but at one time it was this explosion of all these female teachers that was having sex with their students. And I was like, what the hell? And the language being used to describe the interaction, this rape of this child, was like, oh, teacher has an affair with her 14-year-old student. First of all, that ain't no affair. Okay, usually an affair is between two consenting adults. Okay? And that 14-year-old, 15-year-old, 16-year-old, 13, 12, whatever, they did not consent to a relationship with a teacher. You got to think about it. You're going to school to learn. You get to a point where you're trusting this adult because they're a teacher. This teacher won't do anything to me because they're a teacher. It's risk of them losing their job, losing everything. They won't risk that. But these women, whew. When I read some of these stories on lawfirms.com of the different, because I'm giving y'all the references so y'all can go check what I'm talking about on lawfirms.com. There is a list of 25 female predators. A list who they are, where they're from, who they assaulted. They don't mention the child's name, of course, because they were a minor. How old the child was, at least. What they was charged with, how much time they served. First of all, 25 is a lot. But then come to find out, right below that, on the search engine, exactly, not to mention the ones not ever reported, but below that was a link to 500 female teachers who have sexually assaulted, raped their male students. I think some was sprinkled in the female students too. So there is female on female perps and female violated persons. But right now I'm just talking about males who are the violated persons. I realize there is a very real problem with females being violated as well. But today's topic is sexual assault on males. So these jail terms that these people be getting make me so mad. I'm talking about like 5 years. 5 years, suspended for 2 years, a fine. Very upsetting. Actually, just recently, it was another teacher named Brittany Collops from Fort Worth, Texas, that just got sentenced to a 5-year jail term. But they wanted to make sure that people knew that she was a teacher and a mother of 3. Who freaking cares? Who freaking cares? Who cares about her home life? She destroyed a young boy. She destroyed his life. So let's stop describing everything. No, Brittany Collins of Fort Worth, Texas was charged with rape against. I don't need to know her backstory. I don't need to know her home life. I don't. So that's a power differential in there. And like I'm telling you, there's a lot of teachers out here, female teachers, that are taking advantage of the situation. One woman was caught behind the school. She was 30 at the time, I believe. She was caught behind the school with a 16-year-old boy in her car. It was attention drawn towards the car because the windows were foggy and there were people moving around in it. She also had her younger child, in a car seat in the car. This happens. And then at the end, they said that the 16-year-old boy seduced this woman until she gave in to his advances. How the heck does a 16-year-old boy seduce a 30-year-old woman? How? you are an adult. You are 30 years old. When I was 30 years old, I was not thinking about being with no 16-year-old boy. Like, where is your mental at? What are you thinking? And just the language that they use, it infuriates me, because it's making, they're taking this situation, this very real, serious, dangerous situation, and lightening it up to make her look good, to make her look like she was the victim. She was not the victim. That 16-year-old boy was the victim. Okay? So that's one of the power differentials. I can go on and on about the teacher-student thing, because it's still going on to this day. Still going on to this day. One woman, 35 years old, went to go try to marry a 16-year-old, I think it was a 16-year-old boy. She tried to marry him because she found this loophole in the state law that she could get married to him if there is a child conceived. So they got married. She had the child, but she's being charged because of the product of their affair, which was the child. That's the evidence that she has a statutory rape charge against her. "35 years old with a 16-year-old boy." We also had police officers and prisoners. Okay, a lot of people was like laughing about this. Like, how could a female CEO, rape or sexually assault an inmate? And I'm like this: if sexual assault and rape, if it is like a thing where you have to give consent and the man does not give consent, and she does something to him sexually without his consent, that's sexual assault or rape. So, like, I understand that, like, people already are turned off when inmates are complaining. They're like, you did the crime, you do the time, whatever happens to you, oh well. But come on now. If a woman is saying that if a man is saying, I don't want this CEO to touch me, or like they're supposed to be doing searches and they're all grabbing their junk and touching this stuff in a sometimes it's not even a passionate sexual way. It's in a violent sexual aggressive way that they're touching these men and everything like that. Listen, they did the crime. Yeah, they're doing their time, but let them do their time without being sexually assaulted, okay? Like, it doesn't have to happen. It doesn't have to happen. And some men are in prison for very minor offenses that they're going to be getting out in like a year and stuff like that. And there's female CEOs that take advantage of the situation and sexually assault them. But then I also had to examine that we do have juvenile detention centers as well. So, according to the Daily Beast online, you can look this up. There's a school called Green Hill School. It's an all-male school. All right. It's not a school. It's a juvenile detention center. Excuse me. All-male juvenile detention center. And there was reports of the female staff being inappropriate and having inappropriate sexual relationships with these children who were in the juvenile detention center. Like, what? What? Now, just because they're wards of the state or whatever does not mean that everybody has access to their bodies and can do whatever they want to do to them. I'm sorry. It doesn't fly with me. I don't care. This female staff members were charged, but there was a lot of reports, and a lot of time it went under the radar because people, first of all, juvenile detention center, they already like, y'all probably lying because you're in a juvenile detention center and all you do is you was lying when you was out and about, and it's gonna be hard for us to believe you. You get what I'm saying? But then also, at the same time, this is upsetting. Also, at the same time, it's like they don't want to believe that females can be perpetrators. So they're like, and females can put it on. They get dressed up nice. They get their hair done. They make themselves look like the sweet, innocent lady that could never do anything wrong. And the jury is conflicted because they're like, could this really have happened? Are they just making up stories because they want to get these people in trouble? We don't know. But I see that they're much quicker to believe that a male is the perp than the female is the perp. I'm seeing that a lot. So, once again, female perps do exist. It's a very real thing. And I want y'all to understand that this happens. Wife-husband dynamic. Now, that's not really like a power differential, but it's just a relationship. So, wife-husband. So, there, for the longest time, people didn't believe that husband could rape wives. They're like, wives technically property of the man once they get married. So there's a whole bunch of things with that. And because there was such a battle just to say that a man could rape his wife, can you imagine the battle that it is for someone to say that a wife raped her husband? Marital rape is real. And one story that I heard on the YouTube video from Reddit was that a man was married to his wife and they, he didn't want to have kids at that moment because he's like, they still building. They don't want to, he's like, I don't want to have kids right now. And she purposely went off of birth control, his wife. And one night while they were drinking, just having a casual drink or whatever, he started feeling a little lightheaded. She took him up to the bedroom. And he just remembers waking up and she was on top of him and he pushed her off and he's like, what are you doing? I don't want to have kids. Needless to say, they got divorced because you're not going to violate me like that and then think that I'm going to stay in a relationship with you. No. It's like, she took it too far. She took it way too far. She wanted what she wanted and she raped him to try to get it. Luckily, he came to in enough time to get her off of him. But this is the thing I'm talking about. He didn't feel like he could report it because, first of all, marital rape is already a taboo situation anyway, taboo issue anyway. And then how could he say I got raped by my wife? Because there's a lot of police officers is like, oh, I wish my wife would rape me. Like just stupid. A lot of times people see rape as a physical, aggressive, like I gotta hold you down and rape you. But remember, if a man can drug a woman and render her unconscious and take her home and have sex with her without her struggling and without him putting her down and trying to force her to have sex, then the same thing can happen to a man. These drugs don't just work one way. It's not like it just knocks out the girls and not the guys. Those drugs are powerful. And honestly, I don't know where they're getting them, but it needs to be something done about people being able to have access to these roofies and all this stuff, because that's a problem as well. That's going to be something else I'll talk about later on. But this is rendering the men unable to fight back. And even with them being unconscious, they still achieve a physiological reaction. Their body reacts to it because they're being stimulated sexually. But that does not mean, once again, that they wanted to have sex or that they consented to having sex. Agent artists. This is a power differential that I know a lot of people have. A lot of people that I know in the music industry world are aware of. Agent artists. Okay, well, what do you mean by that? Well, I'm gonna take a pause for the cause. Phillies are, I see you. Beth's creative gift, I see you. Euphoria Warder has joined, I see you. How are you? Wahabi Cutie, I see you. How are you? Thank you for joining on. Let me see. I think I got. Oh, no. Thank you for coming on and joining on the live. Thank you so much for watching. I just want to take a pause for the call so y'all know that I see you guys joining in. All right. Once again, this topic is a very real and serious topic, and the content being discussed is very, it's very crazy, but very necessary to discuss. Viewer discretion is advised. I want to just say that again. Let's see. Solipsy has joined. Hello. Okay. So, agent artists. Now, we all know when you're a starving artist, when you want to get out there in the world, when you want to put your music out there, when you want to make an impact on the world using your gift, and you're hungry for it, you will do anything. And the agents know this. Some agents take advantage. Not just male agents, female agents as well. They lull you into a false sense of security. Lull, whatever that word is. Why do they even use that word? They trick you, okay, into believing that, hey, I'm the connect. I'm the person that can get you into the shows. I'm the one that can get you out here and get you moving and grooving. And while there are very few female agents that have that plug, that pull, it's growing every day, but because the majority of them are male. But those female plugs, they see how hungry you good looking guy and all this different stuff. They're going to say, I can get him to do some things. I have this show coming up. You trying to be in the show? Oh, you don't have money? No worries. We can work this out. It's like $500 to get in to actually perform. All right. But if you don't got the money, we could work it out some other type of way. Now, the man is like, I didn't really want to do it, but if this is going to get me in the door, why not? And they're more apt to do it when the woman is attractive. That's another thing that I want to touch on. The attractiveness of the woman makes them least likely a perk to the society's eyes. How? Oh, if my teacher looked like that, I wouldn't mind her raping me. What? That's so dumb. Like, that's not even, why are you saying that? Why are you saying that? That's not cool. Just because the perp is attractive does not mean that they have the right to force themselves onto someone or to sexually violate someone. Like, just because they're attractive, that gives them a pass? No. So, like I said, when it comes to agent artists, that's one of the ways. Also, a lot of artists they partake in drugs. I'm not saying all of them. I'm just saying there is a significant number of artists that partake in drugs, drinking, all that stuff, and some agents take advantage of that. They exploit that fact. They know, oh, all I do is get them vodka on the rocks and I'll be able to get them to do whatever I want them to do. You get what I'm saying? So that happens. There are female agents that take advantage of the fact that, okay, I got this artist eating out of the palm of my hand and I can get them to do stuff to me in order to get certain things. Now, some people might say that's a business transaction, but sometimes it could be that he's drugged out of his mind. He's drunk. He's laying, and remember, you cannot give consent if you're intoxicated, whether you be male or female. It doesn't matter. So that's one. Boss employee. Some people have these female bosses that just be like, I have your employment in the palm of my hand. You have to do what I tell you to do. Pretty much that. Oh, you want a day off? Oh, well, you know, have sex with me and I'll give you the day off. No, I don't want to do that. Well, if you don't do it and you take the day off anyway, I will fire you. Then how you're going to support your children? I'm going to give some examples of this in the pop culture part of the session. But yeah. So, and we all already talked about mom, son. I think I touched on that first. I got that out of the way because I don't want to talk about that no more because it makes me upset. I already talked about the language that they use. The language when they discuss the sexual assault of the males from the females. They'll say, oh, they was having an affair. Or if a young boy, 14 years old, is raped by an 18-year-old babysitter, it's just chalked up as he lost his virginity to this woman. No, he was raped by that woman. She violated him. She took his virginity, not he lost it. She stole his innocence. Come on now. Let's use the proper language to describe it and call it for what it is. Stop sugarcoating this obvious pile of shit that it is. Excuse my language, but that's exactly what it is. Let's stop sugarcoating it and call it exactly for what it is. If a older woman is sexually assaulting or raping a male, this male did not seduce her. This male did not lose his virginity to her. He was raped by her. So let's just call it for what it is, okay? This is the stuff that angers me because it's still going on in society, and society is just overlooking it and just looking the other way and just saying, oh, well, he must have wanted it. Or why wouldn't this young boy want to conquer an older woman? And a lot of times the woman gets away with it because she's an attractive woman to society standards. And everybody is just like, oh, well, you know, maybe he did want to have sex with her because she's so beautiful. No. Stop saying these 13, 14-year-old boys want to have sex with these 18, 19-year-old women. Like, they cannot consent. They're too young to consent to sexual contact with an adult. If y'all say that about a girl, y'all need to say it about these young boys as well. Y'all understand. This stuff get me heated because I'm a boy mom. And I can't believe that this stuff still, I know it happens, but I can't believe that society is still overlooking it. Stacy, darling, I see you. Thank you for joining on. Smitty Smith, I see you. Thank you for joining on. I already explained that there is a double standard when reporting these rapes to doctors, police, and peers. And your peers. Like, you can't even go to your friend and be like, yo, man, I got something serious to tell you. Can you imagine the conversation with two men sitting up there talking and like, yo, man, I gotta tell you this, man. Like, I don't want to go to the cops, but like, I was violated, man. This girl, she took advantage of me. She, held me down. She raped me while I was like intoxicated. And the guy just looking at him like, what you mean? Like, isn't that what you want? Isn't that, don't you want a girl to hold you down and have sex with you? Like, dude, not if I don't consent to it. He like, yo, stop you freaking lying, man. Get out of here with that. This is why the statistic is 1 in 6, but it could be much higher because of the stigma placed on men being able to report it and being taken seriously. Like, this happens. And if someone feels comfortable enough to come to you and report it to you and tell you, take them seriously. Like, take them seriously. We're supposed to take, when a woman makes a claim, we're supposed to take it seriously, right? We're supposed to make sure that we do our due diligence to get down to the bottom of it, whether it's true or not. So do the same for these males that are out here being violated as well. It was something that I thought of in the midst of talking, but it'll probably come back to me. I'm going to take a quick pause for the calls and mention my sponsors, because I do have to get a sip of Euphoria water real quick, because sharing us all this information is a lot. It's a lot to digest, guys. And I know that some people don't want to hear it. They don't want to believe it. They, even with me giving them facts and telling them, they're like, oh no, I still don't believe that that's possible and all this stuff. So Euphoria water, the cleanest, healthiest water in Philly, alkaline with minerals, no additives, no chemicals. All right. If you're going to hydrate the right way. Okay. The right way is to hydrate with Euphoria water. Okay. So after drinking this water, I have a glow. My skin is clearing up. My digestive system is working better. I'm able to have more energy. All right. Euphoria water, get you some. When you're ready, place your order on IG at Euphoria Water. That's UPHORIAWATER. Or you can call Mike at 267-707-8279. Place your order today. All right. Let me get another sip. That's some good water. And also, Anointed Ads, award-winning graphic design and website company, over 14 years experience, over 100 websites created. You know it's Anointed Ads because it has eye-catching designs. He created the flyer for my show, Think Different TV. He also has created other flyers for me for my financial business. And he's ready to work with you guys. When you're ready to get your project started, all you have to do is call him at 609-534-0237. Say, hey, Phil, because that's his name, Phil. Hey, Phil, I'm ready to get my project started. And when you mention Think Different TV, you get 15% off of your project. Isn't that amazing? So make sure you check out both of those businesses because they are Bob's Black-owned businesses. And also because they just do good business. So why not? Why not hit them up? Hydrate yourself with Euphoria water and get your project started, your website design, your flyer design by Anointed Ads. Just do it. All right, guys. So back to this topic at hand. All right. Now, I want to jump into, and I think this is going to wrap it up. I want to jump into the pop culture references to this very topic, and also the celebrities who have shared their experiences. Okay, so we get into the entertainment portion of this thing because it's all related to entertainment and everything like that. Curtis Careers, I see you. And earlier I saw Dexter from IntelliTravel. I saw you on here as well. I did not, purposely skip over you. I just, in the midst of talking about the topic, I missed you. I'm sorry. But Dexter from IntelliTravel, I appreciate you for jumping on tonight as well. So, like I said, there are pop culture references to this very topic: female predators and sexual assault on males. Okay, so one is boss employee. We saw it on Boomerang. Remember the movie Boomerang with Eddie Murphy? And remember Eartha Kitt, I believe, was his boss. And there was parts where she was like, I don't have any panties on, and like all this different stuff where she was making sexual advances towards Eddie Murphy. Did he want to be did he want to be hit on by his boss? No. But we all just kind of chalked it up and like, ha, it's so funny. But is it though? Is it? And then we had Martin. This happened twice on his show. One was with the infamous Miss Trinidad. Everybody loves Miss Trinidad, but there was a part in there where she was trying to kiss him. She was trying to get on him and everything. Like, he was like, no, like, I got a girlfriend. I got a, and it was a part where he was like, he was going to give in, but he was like, no. But we got to realize, like, in that moment, he was being sexually assaulted by a woman. She was aggressively, she was trying to kiss him without his consent. She was trying to be sexual with him without his consent. And then you got to think about it. Really think about it. You taught this young man when he was in the 3rd grade. And now you're trying to jump his bones? Like, is there anything in you that says, you know what? He was my student many years ago. That's weird. Then we all know the cult episode. Y'all already know. If y'all watch Martin, y'all know the cult episode when he ran off and joined that crazy cult. And then he was like, no, I'm going to stay here forever. I think this is one of the episodes where Gina wasn't there. It was Pam, Tommy, and Cole that discovered that he was there. And I think Pam came in there to get him. I could be wrong. It's kind of fuzzy. I think Gina was in the episode, but also I think that it was just Pam. I think it was around that time where it was their whole sexual assault case between Martin Lawrence and Tisha Campbell at the time. But in this particular episode, he was in this cult. And then he was like, no, I'm going to stay here forever. I need to get away, blah, blah, blah. He ran away. I think Gina was there. He ran away. And then the lady who was the head of this cult, she disrobed and had on this sexy whatever thing and was trying to get on Martin, and he was like, no. And that's a power differential too. And churches, there are female perps that hold positions of power in churches as well, or in situations like that where you're like this, you're looked at as this leader, this leader of this cult, and so a lot of people look up to you. They value your opinion. They go to you for advice, and whether it be male or female, it's people that take advantage of the fact that they are that person that these people come to get this advice and get all of this. And it's just crazy, y'all. It's crazy. Man, a lot of people was like, oh, ha, 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 ha. But was it funny? Really, was it funny? Like, I'm not knocking nobody hustle. Like, Martin's entire catalog, the whole show was amazing. But you got to think about it. Like, those two things, when you look back and you really think about it and you really like consider the situation that these people was in, that he was in, you're like, ugh. Like, you get older and you start, when I started doing my research and I started really watching, I was like, yo, this is wrong. Like, this is so wrong. Another one of my favorite shows, Jamie Foxx show. Love Jamie Foxx show. I was actually at my mom and dad's house. My brother came over. He said, yo, I got the whole 5 seasons of Jamie Foxx. You trying to watch it? So I was like, all right, whatever, you know. And I was watching it and I was digging it, and every episode was coming on back to back to back. And there's this one episode with Janet Hubert, who played the original Aunt Viv on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. She was a guest star on Jamie Foxx show, and she was a friend of his Aunt Helen's. Now, in this episode, she's supposed to be this famous actress who has crazy pull in the industry, right? And at that time, she was teaching a class in the hotel. Now, Jamie said, man, I really wish I could get to that class because I got a part coming up in this movie. He only had one line, y'all, but it's crazy. But he's like, I got this part coming up in this movie, and, you know, it would help to get some of your tips and your tricks and all this stuff like that. So she was like, well, any handsome nephew of Helen's can sure come and join my class or whatever. So, you know, but that first thing was just like, people say that all the time, you know, like, oh, you got a handsome nephew, you got a blah, 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 right? So he goes to the class, and after the class, she's just like, oh, Jamie, you have a lot of talent, you know, and you say you have this part coming up in this movie. I really want to help you. And he still didn't tell her that he only had one line, but whatever, you know. But he was like, yeah, she was like, if you need help going over your lines, you can come up to my hotel room and we can go over the lines. So he's like, okay, cool. He goes up there and he knocks on the door and she says, come in. And then he goes in and she comes out of the restroom and she's wearing this negligee, you know, and he's like, okay, thought we was gonna go through some lines, you know, like, I don't know what's going on right now. And she proceeds to try to get him to do stuff. She even ripped his shirt open. And he was like, no, I'm not trying to do that. Like, I don't care. Like, you know, I don't care about the fact that you got pull and all this stuff. Like, I'm not about to do that or whatever. Like, you know, and he was serious about it. And like, I'm telling y'all, it happens. And at that moment, I was laughing and stuff like that. But then, because like, he found a way to make it comedic. But that situation happens all the time in the industry, whether the be a male or a female, and rather the violated persons be male or female. It's not gender specific. Sexual assault cannot just be done on women. All right? Sexual assault cannot just be done by males. It can also be the other way around. And it's very prevalent, and it's crazy because a lot of people don't shed light on this very subject. Hey, D-Ray027, I see you. Thank you for joining in tonight. And it's crazy because your name is D-Ray, right? And I was gonna jump into real life cases with celebrities, and the very first name that I have up here is D-Ray Davis. D-Ray Davis, he did an interview with Tdtv a while back, and he revealed that two women who were friends with his mom violated, victimized him when he was only 11 years old. He was 11 years old, and to this day, he's still scarred from the experience. So this is what I'm talking about. Women who are over the age of 18, but these women was like in their 30s, you know, violating a young man who he said he didn't have no hair down there. He was not, he was a kid. And these women were forcing him to perform oral sex on them. And that's extremely sad. And to carry that around with you for years and years and years, and people not take it very seriously because they're like, you're a boy and they were women, and who doesn't want to have fun with women? He described them as two ugly women that he would never, ever, ever want to engage in anything like that with. And, excuse me. And it's very sad that he went through that. And just because he's a celebrity does not mean, or a comedian does not mean that that sheds light on the situation. Even part of the, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm getting a little emotional, a little choked up. Even during the interview, somebody in the background, I'm sorry, take a sip of my Euphoria water. Hold on. I swear that's somebody getting in the way of me revealing this information, y'all, because I don't ever be calling all crazy like this. But just because he's a comedian, just because he's a celebrity, does not take away the seriousness of the situation. And like I said, during the interview, somebody on the team, like when he mentioned it, they kind of like chuckled in the background. You could hear it. And it was like, there's nothing to laugh about that situation, because he was revealing. And while you would go on Vlad to talk about it, because I don't know, like Tdtv don't seem like type of platform that I would, be on. No shade to him, but shade. But but my thing is, but I am grateful that he did share his experience, because it shed light on, I'm sorry that it happened to him, but it shed light on a very serious situation that is often overlooked and not taken seriously. And I'm glad that he shared it, because sometimes the first step to really recovering and really, healing yourself is to acknowledge that it happened and to tell someone and to get it off your chest, and make sure that that people know, and that can help in a lot of ways, because sometimes it happens to you and you feel like, was it even real? Was I just imagining things? Am I overreacting and all this stuff? And what telling someone does is it puts it out there in the universe. It happened. I'm addressing it. And because it happened, now, and I'm acknowledging it, now I can take the proper steps to heal myself And while I may not be totally healed, at least I can start the process. So, and I got two more, and then I'm going to wrap up this topic. We had Prince, who was violated by his stepsister at 16 years of age. He even did a song about the experience. A lot of people listened to the song, but they didn't really pay attention to the fact that that's what it was about. But it was about his stepsister taking advantage of him and raping him and making him do stuff and touch her in ways that was not comfortable with him, and exposing him to a world that he should not have been exposed to when he was only 16 years of age. And we have R. Kelly, who we all know the allegations surrounding R. Kelly and the very real conviction and all this stuff. But there was something mentioned in his documentary that we should kind of shed light on, was that he says that when he was younger, his sister sexually assaulted him and raped him. So if you or anyone you know, male or female, has ever dealt with sexual assault or rape, and you want to have a safe, you want to relay the information, but you want to feel safe in doing so, there is a number you can call. It's 1-800-656-HOPE. That's 1-800-656-HOPE. Make the call today if you have experienced this. If you have, we gotta start taking this seriously. And a lot of people are scared to report because it is not taken seriously, and that's very sad. So if you're not sure if you want to report it to the police, or you're not even sure if it really has happened, and you just want to get clarification of what has happened, you feel like you're overreacting or whatever. But I don't feel, if you did not give your consent and someone touched you in a way that was not comfortable with you, or made you do something you were not comfortable with, no, you're not overreacting. No, you're not overthinking things. You're well within your right to report it, to tell someone, call the police, go to the doctors, get tested immediately, have a rape kit done. This is not a game. This is not a joke. This is something that needs to be taken very seriously. So once again, if you want a safe place to fall, you want a ear to speak into, to tell about the situation, please call 1-800-656-HOPE. That's 1-800-656-HOPE. I hope that I gave you the information in a clear, concise way. I hope that it has given violated persons, because I don't want to say victims because it has a negative connotation, violated persons, I want to give them the strength to report it. And that, no, this is not a fantasy. It's not something that is a figment of an imagination. It happens, okay? It happens. And it's very sad that a lot of people do not take it seriously. So with that, once again, I'm going to mention the number 1-800-656-HOPE, so you can report your situation and have someone listen to you and not judge you or make you feel that you cannot say anything. about it. So that wraps up the social topic for tonight. How did you feel about the social topic? Do you feel that you got the information that you needed? Share it. I'm going to also repost this on YouTube. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, Think Different TV. Like, comment, share. This particular topic needs to be shared. It needs to be discussed. It needs to be addressed. And I feel very strongly about that. Like I said, I'm a boy mom, and a lot of this hit me on the head. And the other thing that I wanted to mention is they did mention that the person is mentally challenged. Now, there's kids out there that, face autism, they face Down syndrome, they have a lot of, challenges, and there are people that take advantage of that as well. So they may not be able to speak for themselves. They may not be able to tell what, but you can always tell what their behaviors. Pay attention to the behaviors of them around that particular person. Okay, it's very telling. People will let you. They may not say it, but they can show it. They can tense up. They may wet themselves when they're around a person. They may, they may act violently when they're told to go with the person. Do not take that lightly. That's not them just acting out. Something's wrong. Okay? So pay attention to their behaviors. So we're going to take a pause for the cause and talk about my sponsors. My sponsors are Euphoria Water. That's been holding me down this episode, because when I got choked up, I could just drink some of my Euphoria Water and got all of that out of my system. So alkaline water with minerals, no chemicals, no additives. If you're going to hydrate the right way with Euphoria Water. When you're ready to place your order, you can go to Euphoria Water right here on IG, or you can call 267-707-8279. Contact Mike. He'll hook you up. Make sure you get that water for your body. Make sure you got the healthy water in your body, and you're hydrated, and you're feeling all good, and you're glowing all good, and you can go to the bathroom with no problem. Digestion is not a problem over here, okay? Because my Euphoria Water. So there you go. I'm gonna take a sip. And then you have Anointed Ads. Anointed Ads is a award-winning graphic design website company. He's been doing it over 14 years. His name is Phil. He's done over 100 websites. He has eye-catching designs. You know an anointed ad when you see it, okay? And he has created the ad for the flyer for Think Different TV. Just amazing work. Amazing work. And he's so good at what he does. They're both Black-owned businesses. He is ready to work with you. So when you're ready, you call 609-534-0237 when you're ready to get your project started, and you mention Think Different TV, you get 15% off. He's ready to work with you guys. So go to Anointed Ads on IG. That's ANOINTEDADS right here on IG. You can also check out his website at www.anointedads.com, because how can you create websites and not have a website of your own, right? So he has his own website. And you can also follow him on Facebook. There you go. Like him on Facebook, follow him on IG, and check out his website to see the work that he does. He's amazing. Check him out. All right. So, woo! That topic took a long time, but guess what, y'all? Y'all know what time it is. It's time for the Independent Artist Spotlight. And I have a special guest that's going to join me tonight. Before I bring him in, I'm going to say Logic 613, I see you. Hey, how you doing? Thank you for joining on. That topic was very, but now we're going to have our music, which is, And I'm gonna bring him in. He's been watching. Let me see. Let's see if we bring him in. Bring him in. There we go. I done invited him in. This guy.
Hey!
So before we really get into, I want to just give people a little bit of background on the Philly Trenton connection, okay? So this guy right here, Tone the Artist, is from Trenton, New Jersey, and they have a phrase, Trenton makes, the world takes, okay? And he's just amazing. Like, I've known him since, I believe, 2010. I remember the first time we met, we was at Darling's Palace. Shout out to Stacy Darling. They had something called, it was like a just it wasn't just words, it was just melody, right? And it was an R&B event, and I just remember, like, he came in and he had a whole squad, y'all. So I'm like, how Jersey in the building more than Philly, and we're in North Philly? Like, something's up, like something is wrong. But I was so glad that they came in, they did their thing. He had Sharissa there, Bone. It was somebody else that was there too. Oh my gosh. It was like you had came with a whole crew. And he still works with the people to this day. But he's an amazing producer, engineer, lyricist. What don't you do? He's like,
don't lose.
An amazing father. He does so much. I just enjoy working with this guy. We worked on, I released some music on my page, and he actually engineered it. Disguise of You, he was the engineer on that. He was also the engineer of Fourth Stage. And there's a lot more work to come, but the work that he has done, his catalog is extensive, okay? He worked on Sharissa Lene's first album, her second one too, right? And Bone, he worked with Tyler. I forgot Tyler. That was my baby back then. Definitely worked with these guys, put out some amazing content, amazing music. We have a song called Success that is a hit. Because maybe it may be old to us, but it's gonna be new to a lot of people that hear it for the first time. And geez, what can I not say? Like, there's so many great things I can say about you. I'm just so glad that you joined on tonight. I know it was a little bit of a wait. That topic was a lot, but I was like, I hit him up, y'all, and I was like, I'm gonna spotlight you next week. And he was like, okay.
Yes,
so real quick, can you tell the people, Tone the Artist, what you do, what you want people to think of when they hear Tone the Artist?
Well, first, I appreciate you having me on. I really enjoyed the show. I really enjoyed the topic. It was thought-provoking, and it was necessary for us and us to move forward as a society. Well, as you know, I'm Tone the Artist, and I can start with just the name. I came up with the name Tone the Artist because I did so many things: rap, sing, dance, produce, play instruments. So I kind of wrapped it all in. Because when people used to ask about me, they'd be like, Tone, which tone? Drummer tone, singing tone, rapping tone, dancing tone? I was like, you know what, let me just put it all together and have it be Tone the Artist. So my title is Master of Sound. Anything that makes sound, I can manipulate it and make it hot. I started off as instrumentalist, as a drummer. Went from church to the high school band to the military band. And from there, I kind of grew my love for making beats and production. And that came out of, a bit of a necessity, because when I was in that time of when I first started like rapping, because I've always been rapping. I've always been an MC. But, you know, there was a certain time before YouTube where getting instrumentals was so difficult. It was
Hmm.
very difficult to get instrumentals. And you would have to go like on LimeWire and risk infecting your whole computer just to try to find an instrumental.
Yeah.
So that's what started me saying, you know what, let me try my hand at, you know, making some beats. And then that just kicked off and it just kept steamrolling because of the rhythm that's in me from being a dancer and being a drummer. Making beats was natural to me. And then in around 2005, 2006 is when I met Sharissa Lene, and she was the first artist that was like, "Yo, this stuff that you're doing is nice. What do you think? You know, let's get it. Let's do this." And I was like, "Wow, somebody wants to use my stuff to single." I was like, "Okay." So and then that really kicked it off from there, and I've been, in the field ever since. I became an official engineer. I'd always been recording, but I couldn't label myself an engineer until I had the actual professional skill set. So that skill set came around the time you and I, LaShia, when we met. And I had Bob, who's still my mentor. And Bob is who
Shout out to
showed me.
Bob.
Shout out to Bob, Bobby Jones, Trenton, New Jersey. You know what we do, and he was the one who was like, all right, look, if you're going to call yourself an engineer, you need to have the tools. So that's where I started that journey. And then from there, I just took it on with myself and I developed myself as an engineer. I developed my ears. I developed my ability to stay relative in the market with my production. And eventually went into now I also sing and I'm an MC and all the other things combined. And you can always go check me out, tonetheartist.com. It has everything there. My music, videos, beats for sale. You can schedule me for a session, whether it be for recording, production, or engineering, mixing. And everything is also there at the bottom. You can see the Instagram, the Facebook, the YouTube, the Twitter, the Twitch, everything else that's got me hooked up to this internet. And yeah, that's
So
that's
I
that's that's
love your tagline. I love your tagline. This is art.
yes.
Because it's so much more than just singing or rapping or anything. It's actually art. You're constructing a masterpiece. Every time you put a track together, anytime you do anything you do musically, uh, it's always a masterpiece. You're so good at it. You're like Picasso. I like it. I love your tagline. This is our LLC, and I just love that you work with so many different people. So can you talk about the networking aspect and how much that has helped you grow as an artist and what you do?
The networking, I would say to anybody in any entrepreneurial field, even if you're in the 9 to 5 field, you will go far when you extend your network, when you put out that spider web. And basically, the way I was even able to meet you was through networking. I had a manager, shout out to Just, SA Entertainment. I had a manager who was just putting people on in my city. We had a venue that was it's still there. If you've ever been to Trenton, it's not currently open as its name, but if you've been in Trenton, you probably know of Maxine's downtown. It was our major venue for performances. It still has the big marquee up there that says Maxine's. And there was a time where that stage was only reserved for R&B artists because they felt that the crowd hip hop brain might have been the contrary to the interests of the club. And
Mm-hmm.
just really opened the door for MCs to be able to hit that stage and express themselves. And I'll say we went years without fights. Like there wasn't fights. And just doing that for us in the town, not only opened up the venue to more acts, but it opened up the venue to people coming to Trenton to see what we were doing. And then that's where I met most of my network. That's where I met Bone, Reese, Grown Man Reese. You can go look up his joint. We just released a single together that I produced and engineered. It's called it's called "Fuck You Right." You'll be all right. It's only for adults' ears. But if you go, you can YouTube it, and you can look it up on Spotify. You know, all the stuff. So Bone was the first artist I approached and was like, bro, because after you seen him perform, I was just like, whoa, wait, where did that come from? And so when I approached him, and then so it was Bone was the first artist I approached, and then came Ken Will, and then Tyler Marr, and then the Young Boys. I forget, we called them the Young Boys. I forget what their group name was at the time. But in overall, from the time that he was like, yo, let this MC on stage. I know it's an R&B venue. Let this MC on stage. From that time to about 6 months, I collected 13 artists and connects that I was engineering and producing for, just out of that one venue. And that took me almost everywhere I went. Those connects till today still keep me connected to Philly, LaShia, still keep me connected to Georgia, still keep me connected to New York. A lot of different places I've been able to network and connect with through that one venue and one opportunity of somebody saying, look, let these young guys on this stage, young guys and girls on this stage, and let them do what they do. So I will say that networking is one of the most important parts of your road to success, because it's not always about what you have or what you can do. A lot of it is about who you know that is willing to plug you in to the places that will appreciate the art that you bring.
Awesome, awesome. So, uh, I wanted to touch on, like, when people hear Tone the Artist, what do you want people to think of when they hear that name? What exactly do you want people to say? Ah, yeah,
Excellent.
or excellent.
Excellent. That's what I strive for. Excellence. I call it the press play. And this analogy might be a bit jarring, but not all of us, but a lot of us are from the hood, so we understand. When you have a product that you're trying to sell on the street, that first taste has to be addictive. I call that the press play. If I get anyone into my studio and I'm in a position to press play, the product will be addictive. When you leave that studio, when you get in the car or on a train or wherever, and you press play, I want you to hear excellence through and throughout. I want you to hear you, how you know you need to be heard. And that's what I want people to think of when they think of Tone the Artist. Excellence. Like, I'm gonna get excellence, he does excellence, and that's where it's at.
And no doubt you are excellent at every right. You just doing the daggone thing. But I want to ask you this question. Does the learning stop?
The learning never stops. The learning never stops, one, because the young artists are always pushing the envelope. And if you are not in line with what's going on currently, you're going to get pushed out. So you have to learn. That's from an artist perspective. You have to constantly be learning, because these young artists are pushing the envelope to the limit. Whether I like it, whether I don't like it, whether you like it, it does not matter. They are pushing the envelope, and they're going to keep stretching every genre to its height. And then on top of that, we have that all lovely technology. Technology will surpass you if you don't stay on top of it. You absolutely have to be in tune with technology and how it works. And that is something that is forever learning. understanding what's new, how to use it, and when to use it. That is forever learning experience when it comes to anything, but especially when it comes to art, because you've always got the younger generation coming up pushing the limits, and you've always got so much new technology that you have to learn. You know, before there was everything was analog, reel to reel,
I was just about to say,
MPCs.
could you imagine somebody still doing analog? Like, I'm never
You
gonna
already
change this
got a little bit of, you already got a little bit of tape left. You better get it right. You know, and that's been one of the beauties of this learning experience. Understanding that if you learn how to merge the analog and the digital world, you become a beast that is untamed, and you can reach some of the highest heights. Because the thing about the digital world is gives you it shortens your time frame of creation. You don't have to
Mm.
spend 2, 3, 4 hours making a track now, because
Yeah.
you've got it digitally. You can cut, paste, move this, that, move this in, boom, 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 and it makes it so much easier. Now, what the analog side does, which I always still keep that in my studio, in my signal flow to my digital converter, which is my, my Focusrite. Um, what that does is it gives you a nice, authentic, thick sound.
Mm-hmm.
So when you mix the two together, you can still achieve that old school, raw, thick, colorful sound with less time. I can make a beat in 15 minutes, 20 minutes, as opposed to having to bang certain things out. And it might take me an hour, hour and a half, maybe 2 hours to roll out a track. Even when it comes to recording, the new software is something. It's amazing. I can record everything without actually having it records everything. So I can now say, I'm gonna go back to this take. I'm gonna go back to this take. Go back to this take. I'm gonna take this from this take and do this and that. So yes, it's that fusion is really a necessity. Really a necessity.
Really quickly before I ask you this question, I want to just shout out Mizzy Getting Fit. Oh, I see you. Thank you for joining on tonight. Uh, I don't know if you're still on, but thank you for joining on when you did.
Yes,
um,
yes.
so the thing that I liked about analog is I feel like that put pressure on artists to be the best when they come in. Like, no, oh, I'm not sure. Like, it put pressure on them to be at their highest level, to be that excellence when they walk through the door, when they step into the studio, because it's like, listen, we got this much tape and you can only mess up but so much. So you better
Right.
come with the fire. And
That
I
money,
only
time,
know
and
one
money.
person that can nail stuff in one take that I heard nail stuff in one take, and that was Aretha Franklin. All right.
Mm-hmm.
She would go in, she was no nonsense. She was like, I'm gonna get this done. And she was a one take wonder. Okay. But I do like the fact that digital allows you to get stuff done in a little time, and also that um, that someone does they if they have the gift but they're not exactly like perfect, like it still can be fixed, and it can be put to the standard where they feel comfortable with releasing it. So there's pros and cons to each one. But my big pro with analog is definitely that it forces you to be the best when you come in, and then digital definitely allows you to shorten the time to which to be perfect and get stuff done. So I do agree with you on that. So I do have this other question, right? Um, what do you have in store for 2022? Like, what's happening with you? Like, what you got going on? Like, what you got in the works? Who are you working with? Like, can that be released, or are you keeping it? I don't know.
So 2022 is going to be an amazing year for This Is Art. Um, so one of the major things I'm releasing this year is the mixtape. This Is Art mixtape. I'm going to release a compilation of songs from the many artists that I've worked with. And just to rattle off a few, got Rocky. Rocky's from the town.
Oh yeah,
We just
Rocky, shout out to Rocky.
I shout out to Rocky. We recently shot a video down in Atlanta. It's a dope video for a dope song called Undecided. You can look up that on YouTube and Spotify and all the other fives and all that stuff. So I'm gonna have Rocky on the mixtape. I'm gonna have Harley. Shout out to Delaware. That Delaware Philly Trenton connection. Harley is an amazing singer and songwriter, and she's got a great band, and she's just amazing. We went in the studio our first time. I think we banged out 4 tracks in one
Oh
night.
wow.
That went from beat to writing to recording. One night, 4 tracks, and it was just a crazy flow. So she's gonna be on there. Lynn Keys from Trenton, New Jersey. Shout out to the town. Lynn Keys is up.
Lucky.
Woo! She is something else. Her pen is on fire. She got a pen like yours. Like it's on fire. And her vocal ability is through the roof. And then also the MC extraordinaire, Braxton. He
Oh
is,
yeah, Brad.
yes,
Okay.
yes. Definitely check out Braxton. If you haven't, go look him up on Spotify. We dropped his second album, which is actually the third project that we did together. We dropped his first album, then an EP, then his second album. So his first album was The Power of Shalem. Shout out to my cousin Shalem, who passed a few years ago. So
Mhm.
we did do something in dedication for him. So that's the first project, The Power of Shalem. And then I forget the second project was Black August,
Mhm.
which was still a kind of an ode because it happened in August. So it was an ode, and she's got some amazing things. She's got a track on there with B. Dot to God. If anybody follows battle rap and smack, then you know who B. Dot to God is. And he's got a track with him that I produced, and I was extremely happy. This be one of my first like major placements with an artist that's established and that has some renown. And then of course Reese. He's going to be on the mixtape, Grown Man Reese. You can, look him up at IG, New Face of R&B. That's R-N as in Nancy, B as in boy. New Face R&B. So he's going to be on that joint. And of course, yours truly, Tone the Artist. So that's going to be one of the major things that I do this year because I've compiled so many songs with so many artists. I probably have at least maybe 60 or 70 songs. I could literally make like 13 mixtapes today. So what I want to do is put this all into one cohesive project where we can showcase everything. Now, the other major development for this year in 2022, shout out to my brother, DJ Matic. We are going to start a concert series where we will be doing
Oh
concerts
wow.
and live streaming them. He's got everything set up. I went over there a couple of weeks ago to work out the sound portion of having everything hooked up for the live stream. We've got the cameras, we've got the lights, we've got the venue, we've got him, of course, on the tables. The wheels are still. So we're going to be doing concert series this year. So those are going to be the two major developments. Also, I will be dropping a project in the winter time this year. I know it's been
Busy.
long awaited. It's been long awaited for Tony Artist to drop his
So
project.
busy.
So I am going to drop my project, and it's so funny because like I've got so much material, but I do spend a culpable amount of time getting everybody right, making sure that everybody I work with has the time that they need, and making sure that everybody's stuff is hot. Because I know what I can do for myself, and it's not difficult or too time consuming. But I am going to drop my project this year, and it's gonna be called The Memoirs of Antoine. That's gonna be the name of the project. It's
Who's
going to
Antoine?
be yes, Antoine is my go man. Yes, so it's going to be a personal project, kind of giving people just a invite into my life and who I am and how I became who I am. Because not everybody is privy to my private life, and not everybody knows how I got to where I am and how I became who I am. And that album is going to be uh, a source of where everybody gets the information at the same time, things that people have no idea of. So the Memoirs of Antoine will be dropping this winter. I've got the This Is Art mixtape that I'll be dropping in the summer. And within the next month or two, we'll be doing our first concert series. It's going to be streamed live on Twitch. So it's twitch.tv/Tone the Artist. All this information will be in one centralized location, tonetheartist.com. You can go there and get all the information. So if you miss out on the IG, or if you don't see the YouTube, or if you don't see the Facebook, tonetheartist.com will contain everything.
Absolutely. It's always good to have a website where everybody can just find everything that you do and have all your social media outlets on it. And I just want to say that I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of your growth. I love what you're doing. I love you because you're just so great. and, and you just when I say the growth, I'm telling you guys, like, man, I remember and it wasn't even the beginning. That's what's crazy about it. Like, it wasn't like the beginning. Like, he already gave y'all like the history, like how he came to be, and then he ended up in Philly, and that's when I met him. But he already was well established, and he just continues to grow as an artist, as a lyricist, as an engineer. He's always learning. He's always trying to find a new way of doing things, but not cutting back on the efficiency and the just the care, the perfection that goes into everything he does. And I remember watching a DL Hughley interview, and he said, "You are what you continue to do." And I see that. I see that you are the artist that you say you are. Like, it's not a put on. It's not a lie. It's not like you're hyping yourself up. You actually prove everything that you say. You have receipts to back it up. So I'm just honored and blessed to know you and just be able to work with you, because I tell you, when I'm in the studio with this guy, I don't feel apprehensive. I don't feel like I can't be my authentic self. I don't feel like I can't I don't feel like I'm pressured in any type of way to sound a certain type of way. And everything that I do in his studio comes out amazing. Like, y'all gotta give Tone the Artist a play. When y'all ready to get y'all stuff laid the right way, engineered the right way, mixed the right way, like, he mixes stuff and it sounds like it's mastered. It sounds like it's already ready already. And that's what artists need. They need a great engineer to accompany their great sound and their gift. So if you're an artist out there, regardless of what you do, sing, rap, and you want to go into a studio where someone will make you sound crystal clear, and make no mistake about it, he's going to work that until it sounds right. Okay, he's very much a perfectionist. He's like, wait a minute, hold on now. Even when he's recording you, he makes sure that you record it properly so that everything can mesh together. And his harmonies be on point, y'all. I know he was singing. He surprised me sometimes, because he be like, hey, like, do this instead of this. And I do it, and it be sounding good, y'all. So you also need somebody that know how to arrange as well. He is a great arranger as well. If he can hear it, he's gonna give it to you. He's gonna like he already sees the vision. It's funny because he saw the vision for a lot of my stuff before I saw the vision. And I'm like, how you see it, and I wrote it, like so it's amazing working with you. I love working with you. And I want to know if you can give them a taste of what you do. If you can give them a taste of the music that you created. I mean, you can play a little bit of my stuff if you want, but I'm gonna mute. So if like I'll pick your two best, and we're just gonna play them. Whatever your first one is, I want you to give them the description of what it is and who the artist is, because I know you work with a lot of artists. You may not just play your stuff. You might play somebody else's stuff. I don't know. But it's a mystery. I don't know what he's going to play, y'all. But go ahead.
So, all right. So, befittingly enough, well, first let me mention really quick before I play, the engineer, all artists listen up. The engineer might be the most important person in your studio career. That is the last person to touch your music before it hits the world. No different than the hairdresser on set or the makeup artist on set. Do not downplay the importance of having a great engineer, and do not downplay the importance of doing your best, because you expect the engineer to do their best every time you come in. So when you come in, have your bars ready, know your lyrics, understand microphone etiquette, do your best so that what you give to the engineer is the best ingredients to bake that cake. If I said bring me 3 eggs and you bring me 1, do not expect your cake to come out like the things that you see on TV, because it's not, because I said I need 3 eggs, not 1 egg. So understand that that is your lifeline. That's the last person to touch it before the world gets to judge it. So understand that. So
in other words, he's saying, y'all, I make magic with my board, but I'm not a magician. So just because I could turn some stuff, make some stuff happen, don't mean that you can just come in there half-assed and stuff. Like, don't do that. Because I know there's been times where I haven't been my best. And he like, I know you can give me more. Like, I know you can give me more. And I'm like, I'm gonna have to just be skeptical. And also, time is money, y'all. Don't go in here wasting these engineers' time. Don't go in here wasting this studio time. Come prepared, at least rehearse your stuff several times before you get into the studio so you can have it down pat. Like, I used to hate, going into a studio with a rapper who said, oh, I want you to sing a hook or whatever. And I'm like, all right, I'm there. And they take forever just to do their rap or whatever. And I'm like, come on now. Like, I'm not trying to be here all night. Like, let me just, lay my hook so I can go home, and then the engineer even looking like, what the hell? Like, you said you was ready. And I mean, if you got money like that, then by all means, spend that money. But if you really ain't got it like that, and then you up there talking some, oh, well, he didn't mix down my stuff right, and he tried to have all this attitude and stuff like that. Now, I'm not saying that the engineer should have an attitude, but I'm just saying, like, time is money, y'all. Y'all gotta realize, like, y'all can't be in here wasting these people's time. If you ain't ready, don't go to the studio yet. Get yourself ready, and I'm not saying perfect it, because sometimes you might get to the studio and you might hear something different, or the engineer, and also this, y'all. Constructive criticism is very beneficial. If your engineer is giving you constructive criticism, now me and Tone, we go back. So it was times where I was like, what you mean I don't? But then I got older and I realized that is to help me, not to hinder me. And with his input, I'm able to crank out amazing content listen, if the engineer is telling you, listen, you gotta give me more energy, or you gotta, don't take it as a diss or a stab at your art. Take it and say, okay, let me digest what was being said. Let me come back. And it makes me feel good when I come in and he's like, and I'm together and I got it right. And he's like, that was a good take. It feels good because I feel like that I took what he said, I went home, I perfected, I came back, and now I'm just that much better. So I thank you for that, because at first, like, young artists that are out there and you feel like people are taking a stab at you and they're just coming at you all type of way, it's a difference between somebody hating on you and there's a difference between someone that's giving you constructive criticism. And if you're in the studio with an engineer that has made all these other people sound amazing and they're telling you they need something from you, make sure that you have that down and you take it for what it is. Great advice to make your sound come out much better. I'm sorry, I just wanted to get that rant out.
Oh, you're exactly right. And one more thing, it's the last thing I'm gonna say before I play the song. Auto-tune is not a fixer. It's an enhancer. It enhances what you can already do. If you can't sing, it will not fix that. I'm trying to tell you, I have tried it with countless artists. It is meant to enhance what you already are presenting. It's not meant to make you a singer, because it can't do that. People think that Young Thug or Fetty Wap or Future just go in there going, no, they actually have melodic content to what they're putting into the microphone. That's why auto-tune is able to take it and then enhance it. Enhancement. All my artists say it together. Enhancement. Yes, that's what it does. It doesn't fix anything. It enhances what you already got. So this first song I'm going to play was co-written by LaShia. Yes, yes, yes. And it's called Winter Love. Yes, this will be the first time people will be hearing this, so I'm going to play it. And let me know if the sound is too loud or too low, and boom, here we go. I'm looking for that winter love. When it's cold outside, we can cuddle up. I'm feeling for your love, you got me heated this season. I'm all yours, playing doors. Girl, your sex is like a drug. Let's get high up with love. Unwrap you like the gift that you are. Put you right on top just like a star. Oh, baby, by the fireplace, as I grip you by the waist, north and south on my phone. Baby, it's cold outside, you don't have to go. Got plans to kiss on you, don't need your mistletoe. You got me in the holiday, feeling some type of way. I'm looking for that winter love. When it's cold outside, we can cuddle up. I'm feeling for your love, you got me heated this season. I'm all yours, playing doors. Girl, your sex is like a drug. Let's get high up with love. It's about time to get everyone out the house. Now I'm gonna show you what this love about. Light up the tree, light these trees, and take this off while you dance for me. Let it snow outside, you never have to go. Can't stop kissing you, don't need no mistletoe. You're looking like a holiday. Got me feeling
feeling some type of way. I'm looking for that winter love. When it's cold outside, we can cuddle up. I'm feeding for your love, you got me heated this season. I'm all yours, playing through. Girl, your sex is like a drug. Let's get high up, winter love. Yeah, winter love. Yeah, winter love.
That's my song. That's my song. I love that song. Like, amazing. Okay, I'm gonna. Okay, go ahead and play the next one.
Your pen game was strong. It was crazy. I was like, it's funny because when you wrote it, I was like, I'm nervous. I can't record this in front of her right now. I gotta wait till she leaves. But when you left, I was on it. That same night, I was on it. I finished it all in that one night. I was like, this joint right here is ridiculous. And yeah, your pen game is something to remark. So, this second joint I'm going to play, where is it at? This second joint I'm going to play, I will play with your permission whenever you're around. Okay, so this is a joint that I produced, engineered, and she wrote the hell out of this song. God dang. I think the paper was lit on fire while she was writing this joint. So this is called Whenever You're Around. This is one of my favorite LaShia songs.
You're the reason I wake up, the reason I smile when I think of, when I'm out and about, doing my thing, making my round. Oh, the reason why I'm happy, don't know your presence sends me, just sends you around, from heaven bound. I go just the ground, it's like I'm floating, whenever you're around. I don't touch the ground, it's like I'm floating, whenever you're around. I can't help it, make me feel like everything. I can't help it, I am so in love. Whenever you're around, I'm looking at your stargazing, getting planted. This love is amazing. Past the physical is mental. Only mine did I pay into. And it's the simple things that you do to show me that your love is true. A love unfiltered, not questioned. A love only shared with someone special. I know I found it in you. The words are spoken, here's a token of my love to you. Hey, how high do you wanna go? Together there's no limit. It's the passion that you energy for me. See, I don't touch the ground. It's like I'm floating whenever you're around. See, I don't touch the ground. It's like I'm floating whenever you're around. I can't help it, make me feel like
I am so in love. Whenever you're around.
Yes, yes,
Yes.
yes,
Ooh, that excitement.
yes. I'll be in the house singing that thing like, yeah,
Y'all, let me tell
yeah.
you. First of all, his production was amazing. It's so easy to write to, and it gives me a break from having to think so much about it just flows. I like every time I'm working with him, everything just flows. Like it's never like, oh my gosh, it's not good enough, this, that, third. Like it's always amazing. Every time we work together, it's crazy.
Yes,
And
yes.
all the harmonies, listen, he arranged a lot of that, y'all. He arranged a lot of that. He was like, do this, do that. I was like, oh. And then I did. I was like, oh, that felt good. So, y'all, I'm
Yes.
telling y'all, get with him. His quality is amazing. But you know what? I want to showcase you. So, can you play, like, I know you released a video some years ago. I like that song, but like if it's something else you want to play, by all means, have at it. I'm gonna give you one more because I don't think they getting enough of you. I think I
Mhm,
gotta have you on again, so they can
mhm.
hear like your catalog is so extensive. It's like
Very expensive. Very extensive. Let's see. So this joint, you know what? I'm gonna play something that I hardly play just because it's a song that I really like, a song that I really enjoy recording. The song is called "Disrespectful." In parentheses, producers be like, that whole be like, rappers be like, just be like, producers be like. So just listen. And this is my rendition of the younger generation's style of music with my own spin on it. This is art. Got the wave. I've been in this race for a minute. I made my mistakes, I admit it. Try my best to keep it clear. You gotta invest in your career. Cause don't nobody do it like I do it. So don't fuck with my family or my music. You should just think before you ask me to do this shit for free. That's disrespectful. How could you be so disrespectful? I put my life into these beats. Now you want my shit for free. Disrespectful. How could you be so disrespectful? Play the trash and I do the mix. Nigga, triple, double, no assist. I am not the nigga you should go against. Too legit, I do the shit. You should just think before you ask me to do the shit for free. Disrespectful. Disrespectful. Put my life into these beats. Now you want my shit for free. Disrespectful. Why you so disrespectful? Yep, so
I love that. I love that. This is so true. Like that has been the running theme. A lot of people have been talking about I don't do for free. Like don't ask me to do stuff for free. And I feel like a lot of times when it's black owned businesses, when it's us, we for some reason, it's like people don't want to pay for the greatness that they're going to get. Like I could be just making a race thing. I don't want to say I'm making a race thing, but it does happen a lot with us. But
Now let me jump in real quick. I have to say this because I have to commend you. We've been working together since 2009, and not one time have you ever requested that I do a bunch of shit for you for free. And like, and we go beyond music. We're friends for life, and it's so appreciated. The artists that I work with today that I've been working with for a long time are mainly because of that point. Like, there was a point when I first started where I wasn't even requesting money because I had just started. And Bone, grown man Reese, new face of R&B, he would pay me. He would pay me. And he would not allow me to not let him pay me. This was like my first 2 years, and I was just doing free stuff, and I wanted people to get my name. That's just how he is. And that's how you are, and that's how every artist that I work with is. Like Braxton, the MC extraordinaire, that's my cousin, my first cousin. We are real, actual family. He will not ask me to do stuff for free, period. And I appreciate that because I'm like this. If I was behind the counter at McDonald's, would you say, I'm giving that #1 for free? No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't say that because you respect McDonald's as a business, as a company. Just like when you walk into McDonald's and it says $8.95 for the Big Mac meal, you know there's no haggling. You know that when I come in, if I don't have $8.95, I can't get the Big Mac meal. And I appreciate artists who treat the business of music the same way. And that's that. And I appreciate you for always being true to that. Always.
Oh, well, you know, if you want quality, you gotta pay for it, honey.
Right.
And I'm like this. I want my stuff to sound the best. And I already know that if you want the best, you gotta pay for it. Like it's no, like you said, it's no haggling. Like, and you know how they say the phrase is you get what you pay for? Well, if you get something for free, you can't expect it to be quality top of the line. Like you gotta be real with yourself. Like, listen, if you are ready to take that step to being a artist that is going to put themselves out there, be ready to invest in your craft, monetarily as well. Not just your time, not just your blood, sweat, tears, because blood, sweat, tears don't pay the bills, honey.
Yes, and shout out, I love my town. I love Trenton. This is where I'm from. Never been disappointed about it. I love it. But I have to give the biggest shout out to Philly because, and shout out to you for introducing me to Rec Philly. Rec Philly was a place where I saw creatives put their money where their art is. Those creatives are so into investing in their craft that it made me I can't go back to anything else after that experience there in that venue, in that building with so many creatives that you ever tell a person, like, let's say, you know, you're like, all right, look, you want me to pen this joint for you, $250 or $100, whatever you charge. And they're like, and then you go to a place where you're like, oh, okay, great, here you go. What's your cash app? Boom, boom, boom. Let's do it. It's like, that's how everybody in that building was operating. And I hadn't seen it on that level before where, you know, because you don't want to fall back on your prices when you know what you're worth. And you also don't want to price yourself out. But once you understand and learn demographics and geographics, then you understand that your value is your value. Do not change it. You just have to put yourself around people that understand their value enough to invest in themselves. And that's a big thing.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I thank you so much for joining me on my show, man. I
Thank you for
appreciate
having me.
you hanging in there. You probably been watching since the very beginning of the show, and I was just like, the whole time I'm like doing the top, I'm like, I gotta get the independent artist spotlight because I gotta let people know how amazing Tone the artist is, and it's just, and I just love the growth. I love the fact that you're still doing it, you're still at it. You know, you're so great at what you do. But you're not cocky about it.
Right.
You know the value you bring to the table, but you don't gotta tell everybody the value you bring to the table. You may have to remind some mofos. You
Right.
may have to remind some mofos sometimes. You might be
Mhm.
like, listen, you may not know, but I'm telling you.
Right.
I'm
Right.
just letting you know. You may not know, but I'm telling the artist. And I love that I did make that connection with you and we were able to bridge Trenton and Philly together and also just all the amazing talents. Not only that, is you got a New York connection too, New York slash Atlanta connection because you work with Chemo, DJ Chemo as
Mhm.
well. Um,
Right.
in the
Right. Right.
studio, and just it's just a lot. Like the network, like DJ Chemo said last week on the show. You know, your network is your net worth, and I've heard
Yes.
several times in business, heard it so many times, and as you grow and your network grows, your net worth grows, and I see the growth, and I'm so proud of you, and I wish you continued success in everything you do. Success, little plug, and everything you do. And yeah. And you know what's crazy? Real quick. I was going through my emails and I'm like an email hoarder. I keep so much stuff. And I went through and I just typed in your name just to see like what was sent to me in the past, everything like that. And you sent me the updated version of the Success Beat.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I might want to re-record that joint. I might want to re-record that, you know, because I was
Mhm.
like, dang, like he sent me this and it was like back in like 2013 or something like that. But I was like, we need to re-record this thing because it was
Revamp
very
that
jazzy,
John.
very
Yeah.
jazzy. I liked it. I was like, I'm like, why did I never listen to this?
Right.
Crazy. And I was listening to Where Did Our Love Go?
Oh yes, that was like was that the first one that we did outside of Success for you?
Yes.
Yeah, that was our first joint that we recorded.
And I
Oh,
was like,
Keys.
listening to it, and I was like, ooh, yeah, I might want
Yes.
to record
Shout
this
out
one.
to Lynn Keys. She just hopped on. That's one of the artists I'm working with. Amazing.
Hey,
Keys to the Vault.
to the vault. And I also see that Storybook Poet jumped on. What's up, Storybook Poet? So glad that you joined on. Wait a minute, I see there's a request. Oh. Yeah, so definitely thank you so much for being on the show tonight, sharing your wisdom, your insight. I'm definitely going to have you back on because I do want to delve a little bit more into the music business, the business side of music. And I know you have a wealth of information when it comes to that. A lot of information about like how to have your music distributed, you know, copyrights, all that
Oh,
good stuff, registering, making sure you're with like either ASCAP or BMI. You know, I want to delve into that, and I know that you will be one of the perfect people to have on the show to discuss that topic and give us the nuggets, you know,
there's the
give us
Nuggets.
the nuggets, the jewels. So any advice you want to give to new artists that are coming out going forward into 2022 and beyond?
Well, we touched on it earlier. One of my biggest advices is, of course, like what DJ Kimo said, your network is your net worth. If you say you're hot, it's worth 10 times more if somebody else says it. I know it sounds crazy, but that's just how the world works. So when you have a great network of people saying you're hot, it's actually worth more than you saying you're hot, just how it works. And also understand your craft is an investment, not an expense.
I like that. Oh, you should put that on a shirt. I'll buy it.
Let me trademark that. Go ahead. Go. I appreciate you. I appreciate you having me on. This was wonderful. It's a wonderful experience.
Also, I appreciate you and everything you do. Y'all go check out Tone the Artist at This Is Art LLC. Check out his website, www.tonetheartist.com. You can find everything about him, you know, where he's going to be performing at, where he, you know, all his social media outlets, his videos.
Live beats, you can set up sessions, everything.
Everything is right there on one site.
Facts.
So you want to go here, go there, go here, go there, you know. And when y'all ready to go in the studio, make sure that y'all respect the artist that is Tone.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna let you go, my love. I have to give them this financial tip. I appreciate you, and I will see you soon.
I'll still be here. Thank you.
All right. Bye.
Later.
So how great is he? He joined on tonight. He was sharing so many good tips and tricks and good music, great music, y'all. I know so many awesome, amazing, gifted, talented people. Like, I don't know what to do with myself at the time because they blow me away every time. Tone the Artist is no different. Every time we work together, every time we interact, it's always an experience. It's always something that I can take away from it. He's very educated, very knowledgeable about everything that he does. Make no bones about it. He is the shit, okay? And, you know, he can say he is the shit, but when I say it, like he said, it's a lot more value. So thank you so much, Tone the Artist, for joining me tonight. I'm about to jump into this financial tip, but I can't jump into the financial tip without first talk about my sponsors. So my sponsors are Anointed Ads, award-winning graphic design website company. Been at it for over 14 years, over 100 websites created. And this guy is amazing, okay? His name is Phil. He's ready to work with you guys. When you're ready to get your project started, make sure you call 609-534-0237. All right, and when you mention Think Different TV, you get 15% off. 15% off. He has eye-catching designs that when you see an Anointed ad, you know it's an Anointed ad, okay? And he created the ad for Think Different TV. He's done flyers for my my financial business. Amazing guy. So hit him up. Also, we have Euphoria Water, the cleanest, healthiest water in Philly. Take a sip. All right. Alkaline water with minerals, no additives, no chemicals, hydrate the right way. You know, celebrities and athletes love it. I know because I'm a celebrity and I love it. Just an amazing product to have in you, because I mean, a lot of us are hurting ourselves by drinking this acidic water. Is breaking down our bodies little bit by little bit, and a lot of times our health and everything is based on what we put in our body. And one of the things that I would suggest you put in your body and take in is this water, Euphoria Water. When you're ready to place your order, you go ahead to Euphoria Water right here on IG. That's UPHORIAWATER. Or you can call Mike at 267-707-8279. Place your order today. Get that water, hydrate the right way. So I'm gonna close this out, y'all, with this amazing financial tip. All right, so a lot of people are looking to, 2022 is my year. I'm ready to buy a home. I'm ready to get a car. I'm ready to just get things started. But my credit's not that great. Well, if your credit is not that great, no worries, because I know professionals that can help you get on the path to getting that repaired and restored. And that is UWE, United Wealth Educators. They Ultimate Wealth Educators.com. You can go there. I have the site on my page. You can go to my IG page, my link in bio, and you click on credit restoration, and it'll take you right to the site. All right, so you can get started and get on your way towards that financial freedom that we all want. Okay, and one of the ways we can get to that is by having great credit. Now, I know they say cash is king, credit's even better. All right, a lot of times we spend a lot more cash on things because our credit's not that great. We get that car, our credit is at like a 520 or something like that, and we're paying way more at a higher interest rate. You want to get that home, you're paying way more for it because your credit is not that great. Well, let's get to the nitty gritty of it and get the credit right, and then you can go ahead and get that car or get that home and everything like that. And don't wait, till you're older and say, oh, I want to fix my credit. You can start right now. You can start at 20. You can start when you become an adult. It should be you making sure your credit is established so you can get the things you want to get. And another thing, because I did want to talk about this on the show, but there are situations where 18-year-olds are finding out that someone has been using their social and getting stuff in their name and destroying their credit, and that's unfortunate and it's very sad. And so when you get to that age, check your stuff. If you are an adult and you want to help your child build their credit before they get 18, there is a way to do that. If you want more information on that, you can always hit me up on my financial coach page, which is KS Legacy Building LLC 1. I'm telling you, my score jumped 125 points when I joined this program. And I would say that at times it can feel overwhelming because you feel like, oh, I gotta do all this work by myself. But honestly, like, I don't feel like I did much. I just followed the steps, and guess what? My credit was being repaired. Of course, you gotta pay the creditors, but this particular platform helps you dispute, helps you get things removed, improves your credit. They even have a great program called Credit My Rent, which I have, because it kind of sucks that when you get an eviction, that's when it counts against your credit, but they don't account for all the times you paid your rent on time. Well, this particular program helps you count also when you're paying your rent on time, so that can boost your credit score as well. It's like adding another account on your credit report. And when it's in good standing, guess what? Your credit score is going to go up. On one of my previous episodes, I talked about all of the things that can affect your credit. I also posted it on my financial coach page, which is KS Legacy Building LLC 1. So take a look at it. Let me know what you think. If you need help when you're not sure, hit me up. All right. We want to get people on the path towards financial freedom. And one of the things that we can do is make sure that people have their credit repaired and restored. And I can also give you tips on how to prevent your credit from going down the tube. Because a lot of people make the mistake of closing an account or doing something that drastically affects their credit, but they had no idea that would even affect their credit score. And I'm letting you know that you can come to me and ask me a question before you do anything drastic. And it's free information, so take advantage of it, because I'm not charging anybody to let them know what's going on and what's happening when it comes to this financial stuff. I would like to share information and I like to educate. So just let me know. I see Blue Lotus Illumination join. Hey, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm wrapping up, guys. It is 11:30. Wow. Because 2.5 hours I was up here running my mouth, y'all. But I thank you so much for tuning in tonight, being a wonderful audience, interacting, being part of the conversation, being part of the discussion. You know, give me your input, give me your feedback. When I post this video, feel free to comment below. You can catch the replay here on IG under my Think Different TV series, or you can catch the replay on my YouTube channel, Think Different TV. Subscribe, like, and share. Before I run out of here, I'm going to thank my sponsors one more time. Anointed Ads, award-winning graphic design and website company, 14 years experience, over 100 websites created, an amazing guy to do business with. His name is Phil. When you're ready to start your project, call him at 609-534-0237. And when you mention Think Different TV, you get 15% off. Also, Euphoria Water, the cleanest, healthiest water in Philly. Alkaline water with minerals, no additives, no chemicals. Hydrate the right way and get that Euphoria Water today. Go to Euphoria Water right on IG, or you can call Mike at 267-707-8279. Thank you so much, guys, for allowing me to run my mouth and talk your head off for 2.5 hours. It just keeps getting longer and longer. I don't know. It's getting out of control. But thank you so much for tuning in. I love you guys. Bye. Think Different TV, live every Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hosted by me, your girl LaShia. Join me as I discuss social topics, spotlight independent artists, and share financial tips. Join the conversation. I want to hear what you have to say. Think Different TV, where minds meet. You're the reason I